One of the things I always have trouble with is being in a group and how do I introduce myself and like who am I, and the whole question of identity. That's one of the great things that's happening right now, is we all get to question that and decide for ourselves. But I really feel like I need help, so I would like to talk to some people who are near and dear to my heart, as well as friends who maybe don't know me so well. Well, actually, I think of it like a tree. You know, there's people who have known me since I was a sapling and they know all the rings. And then I also have people that have just seen me now as a big tree and see the bark I have now. And I guess, you know, I'd like to hear from those people. I like to hear from other people. What do you know, we all have these questions, I think, on some level, in some part of our lives. So that's what this is about. Mm-hmm.
I'm Virginia Pettman, and born in Vegreville, Alberta in 1944 on 5 acres that had a river behind and cows and chickens and a beautiful garden.
I'm Demian Pettman, and I'm 86 years old, 86 and a half now, and who counts? Anyway, I was born in northern Alberta in a little place called Fort Vermilion.
My name is Jane Rizendi. I'm from Brazil, and I live here in Canada as a citizen for the last 10 years.
Well, my name's Demian Pettman, and I live in 100 Mile House, BC, on the very gorgeous territory of the Shukwapan people, and I've mostly grown up here.
My mother's family came probably at the turn of the century because they were told it was free land. They didn't know that it really wasn't theirs, but the government told everybody to come, and being in a country overrun by everybody in Europe because they had good land and they grew, well, wheat was their main food supply, like the buffalo was here. So everybody was coming into the Ukraine, and the people were being put down.
My great-grandparents, both, my grandmother, Kokum, was a midwife, and my grandfather, Mashum, was a healer. And they were up in northern Alberta, but they were wanted by all the reserves. At that time, the big reserves were Dene. At that time, they weren't known as Dene, they were either the Slavey or the Beaver natives. But they were always in demand. Her delivering babies and him, of course, doing his healing.
So they made a raft of all this wood and floated down the North Saskatchewan River to around Desley. And that's where these people already had homesteaded. So they gave them the wood, and they dug a hole in the hillside and lived in the ground called a Bordeaux.
Hello. Hello, doggy. Yeah, come say good morning, you old fella. Yeah, what a couple of old.
Who does my belly button belong to? Oh, it belongs to the earth. It belongs to myself. It belongs to my hips swinging in every movement. Yes, it belongs to me.
Well, I always thought it belonged just to me, but I realize it belongs to my mother and my grandmother and people past. Especially as I get older, I realize that. And now to the future, the next generation, the kids that'll carry on. Yeah.
The belly button, that part of your anatomy, is pretty well your center of gravity. You know, remember Da Vinci, his drawing he made of a person with their outstretched arms within a circle? Well, the belly button would be almost the center part of your anatomical structure. If you put a pin there, you probably could spin you around.
So you're saying it's kind of like the point of balance?
Yeah. Point of equilibrium, yeah.
So when you think of your belly button, your personal belly button, where would you say?
Well, it's your center, and it's also, the outer part of your intestines, where food is processed. And, I read in a book about 3 brains. Your main brain, of course, your control center, your stomach, which is your intuition, gut feeling, etc. And of course, your actual heart, which is emotion and cognizance and all that. So that's why I feel.
I think there is that with people, we've all sort of moved sometimes from the origin of where our ancestors are. And, maybe it's not a conscious thing, but I think it can lead to a bit of a feeling of where do I fit in? Because that umbilical cord, it stretches through the generations. Plug in up to a lot of places, but in the end, where I feel most connected is in nature. And among the trees, or, and then people will join me there and I'm connected to them too. I think that's where we all meet. So where I belong, who I belong to is the earth. Yeah. And to each other. We're here for each other too.
What identity means to me. Well, it comes to mind a lot of things. I'm a woman, I'm Latina, I'm from Brazil. Most of my life, I think, was related to what I do. Like, I'm a yoga instructor, I'm a psychologist, I'm like a tantra educator, or I'm a daughter, I am a sister. And but with the journey through life, I just realized that I'm all of this and nothing of this. I'm a woman, yeah, but I have such a masculine side of me that make things like that brings presence, that makes structure, and that is the feminine flower inside of me that just flows like water and creates that spaciousness. So in my journey, I learned, once someone asked me, one of the tantra questions that we have, like prompt questions, is, who are you? And it speaks for that identity. And instead of saying, even when I meet someone, I don't like to tell them what I do. I'm more interested in the deeper aspects, like, who are you? And in this prompt, you keep asking over and over, who are you? And my answers would always be, I'm water, I'm a bird, I'm fire, I'm sadness, I am power, I'm grief, I'm nothing at all, I'm God, I'm Satan, I'm nothing at all, I'm everything. So, and in the answering these questions, who are you? Who am I? Who am I? Especially when someone criticizes or someone bring their own perspective of who is this person, I bring the question to myself, who am I? Yes, I'm Jane. Yes, I'm Nidinha, my nickname. Yes, I'm Lolita. Yes, I'm Lola. Yes, I'm Sassenach, and all the other names that I play with. I'm all of them and none of them. And at the same time, so comfortable with not even knowing, who am I now? Who am I becoming? Like, just giving myself that option to, and the surrendering to, I don't know. Who am I sometimes? Or, yes, I know my essence. So to answer your question, what is the identity of this thing here, this human here? It's the universe itself, with all. And more I'm working with myself to expand my capacity to hold life itself in all. The good, the bad, and the ugly, the joy, the grief, the sadness, the scarcity, the abundance, everything. So I believe that identity for me is to be current in what I am right now. Like right now, I'm like a flower just sitting in a beautiful garden and receiving the wind and being the wind, receiving the water and being the water. That's in each moment. So I think that my identity is not that I'm a chameleon that changes to please others, but no, I allow myself to be everything in life. So I think identity is this to me. Yeah.
What identity means to me is, it's like, actually, it's like clothes that you put on. I feel like it's a way we present ourselves to the world. And we want how we present ourselves to the world to be as congruent with what's inside us as possible. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I mean, it's up to everybody, but I sort of feel like it's an external thing. I looked up what is the meaning of identity because I wanted to get it straight. It's sort of a big term and it could mean a lot of things. So I just, it comes from the mid-16th century. And it's from the same root as identical, which is interesting. So it means things that are alike. So in a way, your identity also has to do with how are you alike to other beings. And, sometimes for me, maybe other people too, identity can become kind of an individualized thing. It's like, how does it make me different? But actually, when you look at the root of the word, it's how am I similar? And so yeah, it's how do I present myself? How do I make a connection with other people, and how when I'm talking to them and trying to find a common ground. And I kind of thought it was funny. Really, I don't think you maybe even need to have identity if it's just clothes on, right? Like you could walk around naked or whatever. But it's probably important if you were, introducing yourself to aliens or something. And yeah, that was a little bit of a tangent.
No, that was really good.
Just feeling that we are all one, we're all one tree and we're all growing. And it just represented what I felt about life.
The sun's out.
Yeah.
Looking out at the lake and the trees. And the coffee's good.